Welcome to another This Week in Rails. I'm Dave Kimura, and today we have Patrick bringing us the updates for This Week in Rails. Again, I simply provide the video coverage of This Week in Rails, but a team of people actually produce the content. So let's dive right in. The first one is the improved missing template error page. And this one that I've become accustomed to over the years, so I know what to do whenever I approach this error, but I can see how it's confusing for new users to the framework to get kind of mixed up on what to do here. So before, you would just get a missing template, but now you get an example of what's expected, so you know what kind of path forward you would need to take. Next, allow specifying columns to use an active record based object queries, and this is really supporting the composite primary keys, and you're going to use this in situations where you're wanting to shard multi-tenant databases. And this one's going to be more helpful if you get into situations where your application grows to such magnitude that you are starting to shard out the tenants. And so I think that this one is going to have a lot more to unfold as this feature gets released and we start seeing it in the real world. And the next one is fix time change and time advance for times around the end of daylight savings time. And I've been bitten by this one more than once because I did create a time and labor application at a previous employer, and we had to deal with issues around employees clocking in and out and around midnight when a daylight savings is beginning or ending, and they could venture across between different time zones, which could affect that as well. So that gets really complicated. So any kind of fixes, bug fixes, or advancements to fixing the time and stuff, I really appreciate. So working with any kind of times like this is a real pain, and it has to be approached carefully. And because I was having to do a lot of calculations around time, I ended up storing the user's time zone for each punch and then storing each time punch as the epoch time so it could then be recalculated properly on each punch whenever we needed to do some math around them. And finally, we got Simulus 3.1.1 has been released. And it fixes a memory leak, which is always good because as we are testing out in our browsers, we usually aren't on our application for long periods of time where we might see these memory leaks start to cause actual problems. So in the past week, there were 19 contributors to the Rails framework. So again, I really appreciate everyone's effort and their contributions, as well as all of the first-time contributors. And if you would like to receive your own email copy of This Week in Rails, you can go to world.hey.com/this.week.in.rails. Well, that's all for this episode. Thanks for watching.